Rising. Tap in if you want to learn about the power of stillness, the power of no mind and not thinking. Yo, did you know that not thinking is not a sign of you being stupid? It's a sign of you being woke. Not thinking, no mind is not a sign of you being retarded. It's a sign of you being reflective. It's a sign of you being able to quiet all the things that's in your mind, and you're really able to tap into your consciousness, and you raise your level of awareness. So come on now, stick with me here if you're trying to raise up your level of awareness, your level of vibration and frequency. That's what I'm going to be talking about in this episode. Raising your level. All right, so the level of mind, having no mind, quieting down your mind, learning how to quiet down your thoughts so they're not taking over your life. Those are very important because a lot of times we think we're living out our lives, but we're just living out past thoughts. We're just letting the past thoughts perpetuate in our lives. So while we think we're actually living out a life, sometimes we're living out a memory. Sometimes we're living out a way of thinking. Sometimes we're living out a perspective. Sometimes we're living out of what we thought is the truth, but not what is necessarily true. So when we get back into the present, what we're able to do is we're able to come from what we think is true to what we know is true. So being able to tap into your consciousness is not necessarily being able to thought into what you think. You don't thought into your consciousness. You become conscious. You don't think your way to it. You be yourself to it. You quiet yourself down to it. And of course, I told you there's a duality to everything, which means you have to have no mind. You have to quiet yourself to it. Doesn't mean that you don't analyze yourself to see where you are. So yesterday I was talking about how there are subconscious scripts and there are also limiting beliefs and there are internal conflicts. So I was talking about the difference between subconscious scripts and internal conflicts. And what I meant by that is if you look at the basis of the struggles, your external conflicts, you actually discover this. If you look at the basis of your struggles, you'll discover that you have certain scripts underneath all the challenges you have in your life. And this is rooted from childhood. And you got to heal from those, right? But in psychology, and I want you to tap into this, we normally talk about the child within. We talk about the past, and we talk about how what happened then is what's perpetuating now. But we stay there too long. We don't do it as a reflective for change. We do it as a way we like it. We like looking at the pain body. We like focusing on it. But we don't change out of focusing on the pain body. We reach the epiphany by realizing how we've been, but we don't change until we just be. Top of the morning, Jay. And by the way, y'all support me with these badges. If you're watching on Instagram, it should say down there, support me, support this creator with the badges. First time I ever had badges. I've been doing the podcast every day for the free. I would love to get some badges today, right? So you can invest. As you can see, there's an option down there. You can invest $1, $2 as some form of gratitude on Instagram. And if you're listening on the Apple Podcasts, you could always tap into the IG lives every day at 10 a.m. All right. So I was talking about consciousness. So we have to mix, and listen to me. Those who have ears, let them hear. Those who are in the holistic world know that you tapped into psychology, Western, and you tapped into spirituality, Eastern and West. Spirituality is not Western or Eastern, but it's mostly a Western. When we really think about true spirituality, it's more Eastern. And by that I mean really getting in touch with yourself. Westernized, we often put concepts. We like science. We like, oh, you have this, you have that. Instead of saying you are this, you are that. So what I'm saying is we have to have a mixture of both. So here's what I mean. You don't just figure out that you have anxiety, supposedly disorder, but you found out that, oh, I don't just have an anxiety disorder. my body is out of order. And if I get it in order every day, it'll be less anxious. So you can notice what's happening, label it, but you tap into your presence to heal it. The labeling is so enough that you can step outside of what you think is you. Here's what I mean. You don't label things to identify with the thing. You label things to separate yourself from it. It's like you thought it was you, but it's not you. In order to realize it's not you, you have to conceptualize it. You have to get in the brain of the neocortex. This is why we get these information, to get us information, not so that we keep reliving out the information. Now, have you ever talked to somebody and the first thing they kind of tell you is what happened then, right? They tell you their story. They tell you his story or her story, what happened then. Instead of truly being in the now, most of us, we are reperpetuating the past. We're talking about past stories or what I'm going to do or what I did do, so far, so on. Now, I'm not saying there's something wrong with stories. I'm just saying it's way better to be in the present, because the present is making the history. Instead of repeating what happened, how can you happen? First, you have to know what happened to you so that way you can say, oh, it happened to me, but it's not me. But we don't want to perpetuate that same happening. How do we perpetuate the same happening? When we keep bringing it up all the time. We need to reflect on it enough to heal from it. We need to sometimes journal on it to reflect and heal from it. But then every day, what we're doing is being present. So somebody want to know, all right, how does the power of now look like? Somebody want to know, how does no mind look like? Somebody want to know, what is the state of presence? The state of presence is when you are in a state where you're not being pulled by the past, you're not being pulled by the future, you're being in the moment. And somebody said, I heard that over and over. So what does it mean? It means that you're seeing what's in front of you. You're seeing what's around you. You're smelling the roses. You are experiencing what is happening. Even if you feel tense, you're not necessarily being tense. You're experiencing the tenseness in your body. So it's also a form of observation, observing, asking what's going on within me right now. And by the way, this is the first day that I got tokens, option to get yourself some stars. So get some stars. So you're like, yo, how do you do that? You're like, okay, how do you get into the present? So how do you get out of your mind to create a no mind? So let me ask you, what are you thinking about right now? What is your next thought going to be? Right? If you're part of the tribe, we spoke about this already, right? This rising, we were doing the meditation, right? We spoke about the essence of your presence. Yesterday we talked about the subconscious script, so we've been doing the work. But you in the podcast, I want to kind of give you a little in on that. Think about this. What is my next thought going to be? Ask yourself this question right now, right? And really ask yourself this question. What is my next thought going to be? And I want you to get a sense of that. What is your next thought going to be? All right. So now, what was your next thought? Did it come up? Did you even get a thought? Or did you not think about anything? The state of presence is when you have no need to think in order to be identified. You know that the fact that you can observe is enough as a spirit. Most of us, if we don't think about stuff, what we know, what we care about, what we've been attached to, then there's no us. But if you can stay in your presence of your essence and not think and still be, then you're experiencing your presence, the power of the now. Somebody says, how does it specifically look like? You hear the birds? Hear a little bit. I hear the birds, right? I hear the birds. The birds sound good. And are you really hearing them? Are you really enjoying? Like, how many times you walk out and you just tap in, you just walk out, but you're not really hearing the birds? Like, they're just noise. How many times you walking, you're not even walking. You're just kind of thinking about where you're going. How many times you're sitting down and you're not even noticing that you're sitting down. You stood up and You traveling all over the place in your mind. What if you can sit still and not think? What if you can be a moment of waiting where it's like you're sitting around the fireplace and you kind of like having a good time, rather than like, yo, I'm waiting for that, I'm waiting for this, but you're just like, oh, I don't care if nothing comes because I have something right here. So somebody want to know, how do you embrace some more of that stillness? It's this. It's like, you have to pay extreme focus to whatever it is that you're tending to. Pay extreme focus to whatever you're tending to. What does that mean? When I am gardening, I pay extreme focus to. There was a line in the word that says, meditate on my word day and night. When you go in Webster's and you put meditate, it says paying extreme focus to. So meditation is not necessarily that in itself. That's the westernized version of it. But to some extent, when you play extreme focus to your essence and your being by getting to your breath and feeling your body, you are paying closer attention to a little stillness that resides inside of you. You ever heard of this? There is a stillness that resides inside of you. You've probably heard this concept over and over. There is like a stillness within. This stillness that people talk about is your spirit. It's, even through chaos, even when we feel like we're losing everything, there's a part of you that is at still. So sometimes while we think that our lives is being pushed and pulled and we're out of balance, is that we're identifying with the body so much. We're identifying with the ego so much. So our spirit is not out of balance. It is our egoic tendencies that are out of balance. Our bodies is, but our spirit is like, yo, come on. You know I exist here? I exist. Somebody said, what is my spirit? The spirit is what you experience when nothing is coming into your mind at all. When you just experience your essence. The consciousness of everything is about the same. The consciousness, everything is about the same. And what do I mean? They have a certain flow and stillness in it. The conscious and of everything has to do with peace. Animals only live in the present. They don't live in the past. And they can't think about the future. There's a lizard looking at me right now. He's really focusing on my face because he's trying to figure out if I'm going to attack him. Now, he doesn't know about what I did to him yesterday. The only thing he knows is if I run towards him, that means I'm probably going to attack him. So he's operating out of the present moment and fight or flight tendencies. Right after his fight or flight, the cortisol in his body diminishes faster because he's not thinking about the stress after he's experienced it. His body naturally gets back to rest and digest. The lizard says, oh, Ed, the holistic motivator, about to cut my tail off. Let me run away. 5 minutes later, he's just chilling, blending with his environment. Because the lizard said, oh, I was threatened 5 minutes ago, but I'm not threatened anymore. But us as humans, we tap into our reptilian brain and we keep thinking about it. So instead of a lizard, where the lizard is just staring at me and then he gets scared, runs away, and then gets back to normal, we get scared and we think about the fear. We perpetuate the fear. The fear stays in us, and then we think about it. Then we could say, why am I scared? I shouldn't be scared. So we blame ourselves for being scared. We're like, I shouldn't be like this. I should be like that. I shouldn't be like this. Or you should stop shielding all over yourself and start saying that, oh, I can be like this because this was then, this is now. I was running away then, but I am good now. I was in jeopardy 5 minutes ago, but I'm free now. That's what the present moment doesn't say, that you don't have stress because you need it or you might die. Somebody said, I'm going to stay in the present and like nothing can disturb me. Something is about to fall on your head. You better move out the way. Stop meditating because you're about to die. So if you meditating and you about to get shot, your brain says run. But after you run, you should be able to sit down and breathe in, breathe out, and say, man, thank God I'm safe. Let's keep moving on with my life. You don't go about it and say, well, I'm never going to meditate again because I might get shot. You said, oh, I got shot at, but won't he do it? The Lord took me out of this burden. Guess what happened? You said this was then, this is now. You let go of then, you step into now, you experience now, and then you've told your mammalian brain, you told your amygdala, yo, I'm not in the stress mode anymore. I'm not in fight or flight anymore. I'm actually in the now. Be good. Enjoy the moment. So now you're tapping into the power of now. Your brain is not so much saying that you're still in it. It's saying, oh, they were in it then, they got out. So a lot of us, the issue is we feel as if we are in the jungle all the time. The lion is always coming after us and we always have to run as the gazelle. So we get bursts of fear through day. We're dosing ourselves off of fear. And what that means is we're getting little doses of fear because we keep seeing a picture of the lion thinking the lion is actually there. So somebody says, why do I keep seeing the pictures over and over? Why do I keep painting the same pictures of a possible demise? Because you're acting as a human. You're thinking about the future, you're staying in the past. An animal says, I'm only going to be in the present. And then when it needs to be that I need to run away, I will run away and I'll be good. But now, guess what? Just like we can take back control to being in the present moment by saying, I'm not going to live my life based on fear, we could dismantle old fears through the concept of psychology called exposure. So remember what I told you. Our goal is to use westernized psychology for our current level of consciousness. And we graduate from labels and westernized versions to a more true spirituality, which is not putting so much emphasis on the past, but we're creating with the power of now. So let's say you're at a state where you can't even think about being in the now. It's hard for me to say, be present. I need to understand why you're not present. So you work with the psychology enough to free you from what you thought was you. What psychology does is it labels things so you're not saying, oh, this is me. You can say, oh, that's my anxiety. You can say, that's the stress in my body. You can say, that is accumulation of different things that cause depression within. So this gives you a little bit of sense of freedom. Why you said what you used to say, what's wrong with me? Now you say, oh, what's wrong with my mind? What's wrong with my body? Well, how do I realign myself? Now you're starting to say, how do I realign mine? So you means you're observing, you're stepping outside, looking within, and that is a spiritual point. The point where you can observe you and observe your life without saying you're doomed is the point where you gain back your power. By the way, if I'm dropping some gems and you see those stars, drop a star. I just want to get 1 star today because I finally got the feature. Is it showing? I don't even know if it's showing because I can't see it on my end. Somebody let me know if you see somewhere it says send stars. Trying this new feature. So what am I saying here? I'm saying this. Sometimes we want to experience the power of now, but we're so stuck in the past and the future. So how do we do that? Oh, it's not showing. All right, Instagram, we'll figure that out next time. So what we need to do is we need to step into this present moment. So we reflect, we do the work, we talk about the psychology concepts, but not to keep taking this story on. At some point, whatever I am that came with your past story, you should stop saying that I am, because at some point you should transform it. So somebody says, well, I'm always this, I'm always that. After enough epiphanies and discoveries and affirmations and changing up your energy, that I am should be the opposite. You should be able to say, I am a creative being, however it is. Let the I am transform. Let the I am transform as you transform. Let you experience I am a bit differently. Not I am as in what you experience, but I am as the experiencer. So, Let's do an exercise. I want you to start thinking in the form of I'm experiencing my thoughts. Not I'm thinking. I'm experiencing my thoughts. Which means right now what you're doing is you're experiencing your thoughts. And if you think differently, you could experience different thoughts. But if you don't think, you're going to experience life. So are you experiencing thoughts, experiencing the past and future, and not experiencing the present? So if you notice you're in your head, say, oh, I'm experiencing my thought. And then if you notice you step back out in the present, you're looking, oh, I'm experiencing life. Two different things. I'm experiencing my past right now. If you find yourself thinking about what happened then, you're experiencing your past. If you find yourself thinking about what may happen, you're experiencing what may happen then. So you got to say, how do I experience now? And then find something right in front of you to experience. It can be you. Somebody said, oh, you want me to experience myself? How do I do that, son? Simple. You experience you by getting in touch with you. What can you do? I show people how to breathe, how to touch their body, how to massage their body, how to sit still and experience the essence of their being. How to breathe, raise up your arm. You really experience you. How to just sit and experience the birds, watching the trees, focusing on your task as if it's the only experience you're having right now. If you take your work a little bit seriously, you're going to take your mental health a little bit seriously. Somebody said, I thought I need to not work to have better mental health. No, you need to not work and stress. Work and focus so you can rest and digest. Just don't work and stress. Work and focus so you can work, rest, and digest. When you're working and you're thinking about a billion things, not only are you being drained by this thing you're doing, now you become drained by it because you're being pulled while you're trying to put your focus. Putting your focus and being pulled in 20 directions is like, I'm trying to walk this way, and then people keep grabbing me and I keep having to say, no, stop. People keep grabbing me, I have to say, no, stop. You're expending too much energy. So when we're thinking and multitasking, what we're really doing is we're spreading our energy too thin. While we're thinking we're doing many things at once, we're not doing much at all. All of it is doing us because you're doing too much. Now it's doing you. You're like, I'm trying to work, but what am I going to do? Oh, pull by the side. Oftentimes we're pulled so much, that's why we feel pulled. That's why we feel aki, because we can't focus the thought enough. So somebody says, how do I do that? I have ADHD. I can't focus. I tried, my brain is all fogged. Well, you have to cultivate your ability to focus. You got to cultivate it. You got to build it up. You have to practice it. You have to master it. You have to put intent. You have to set out time to say, I'm going to experience my being. Peace. You have to have a mindful movement practice. The best one I know is Qigong. I tried yoga before, but staying in those poses long enough for me was not always efficient. But if I could get up and I could do this, I feel so good. I'm like, I'm experiencing the present again. And it takes me out of my head. If you go outside and you just dance and you really dance, if you go outside and you express gratitude or you sing praises of joy, just being happy for your life, you get in the present. If you just play with your kid, really play with them. Or if you play with your dog, just go outside, watch the freaking bees. Like, be amazed by the sky. Look at the clouds. Basic things. Somebody says, well, I'm not present enough. I'm too stressed to even do those things. If you're too stressed to do those things, what you need to do is build a new way of responding, a new way of navigating, a new way of cultivation. And the truth is, I offer that, right? I offer a system. I offer a support way of doing that for people, a community. It's called Holistic Lifestyle Tribe. Happens every day. I really teach you how to release the things that keep pulling you. If you have a pain in your neck, don't keep thinking about my neck is killing me. Take a 5-minute break, massage that sucker out, right? So I can teach you that. I can teach you how to massage the stress out of your body, how to breathe and move so you can heal your body, how to not identify with the thoughts, but identify the thoughts so you could so you could change them, so you could transform how you experience your life, right? So it's important that we really think about what we can do for ourselves. And I'm not saying this, yo, depend on me, depend on what I have to offer. I'm saying, yo, I got something here. I add some sort of value to you. So why not tap into the current value while it's here in this way? I always say to people, like, join the tribe in the smallest numbers, because you're going to get that family vibe where you can really learn these different tools. We've been talking about the power of now. We've been reading The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. We've been really doing the work. Instead of talking and getting the concepts, we apply the concepts. So I'm saying this to say, y'all, tap into the tribe. And once again, every Friday, freeway, every Monday and Friday, whether you was already in the tribe, you just joined the tribe, you never joined the tribe, it's free on Mondays and Fridays. Even if you're already in the tribe, invite somebody to try one of those rising primes. So somebody know, how do I embrace the power of presence, get in touch with my presence, and transform my life? A rising routine is the best way to do it. Those who have ears, let them hear. Some people will think I'm just saying it, but this is the truth. Changed my life. So I came back and I was like, yo, I'm going to share this stuff. So you're like, how will a rising routine change my life? Remember what I said? Most people are operating out of what they call high beta mode. Their minds are always being pulled in 20 different directions. They can never rest and digest because they're too stressed. They're either fighting or flighting. They're either running or trying not to run. And because of that, they're being pulled. And that pulls them too thin. And what happens is when you learn how to get your mind, your brain waves to alpha state, which is when your brain waves slow down a little bit, you're able to then get yourself more at peace, but you're able to build new neural pathways. Neural pathways are the pathways in your brain that build habit loops. So when you rise up in the morning, before you get to high beta mode, which is stresses of life, we get about 7 to 8 things to stress us out a day. So what if before any of that stress came, you only felt what was you in your body and you released it? You put affirmations, gratitude, you learn something, you move, you get your body at a peak state, your breath, your body moves, tensions are released. You talk power into your life. You speak life into you before 8 a.m. You do that every day when your mind is at alpha state, a slower brainwave state, which you learn and apply better. If you do that for 7 days, it'll transform how you experience those 7 days. If you do it for 14 days, you will now say, I need to do this for the next 7 days again. You go 21 days, you're really going to experience this. But when you do it for 3 months, 90 days, you're going to build a routine for your life. You will never have the same routine ever again from there. You're going to be the type of person that just wakes up early and does something for themselves. You're going to create a new mind within you by just waking up early and doing the work. The Creator really looked at early. Don't be like the lazy. Don't be lazy. During the winter season, you got to accumulate stuff to save for. You got to save for winter, my bad. So waking up early says, listen, I'm going to fill myself up because I don't know when something crazy is going to happen. But if I build myself, if I deposit in my mental bank every day, no matter what withdrawal happens, no matter what I go through today, my life is going to change. So guess what? You really want to do this. You really want to join the tribe. Like, I rise up and we do this stuff and I'm like, bro, so many people would benefit from this work, but very few would discover what the work is. So listen, y'all, I'm saying this to say this is my greatest gift to the world so far. Rising and priming is going to transform billions of people's lives. It's already transforming lives, tens and hundreds, but in years it will impact thousands and millions. So you're like, okay, you're telling me about this. Why are you telling me about this? Because guess what? I know some of you experiencing fear, anxiety, stress, depression, worry. And there is something that can help. There is a community that can help. There is me who is willing and loving to help. And I'm like, every day I'm waking up and I'm be like, yo, this can help a lot more people. And I just want to get it out there. So for now, I want to really express to you why you should join. Like, check this out. Somebody tapped into the class within a day, within like one session. They're like, yo, a lot of things changed for me. Like, after being part of it, I had to leave some things in the past, right? And they're like, yo, I had to do this, and I changed a lot of the things. I'm back on track. I'm excited for the next day. What the Rising Primes does for you is it gets you excited for every day. Like, every day you're like waking up and you're thinking to yourself like, bro, how am I gonna level up today? Like, you're thinking, bro, I'm about to experience. You get in the presence. That's why Rising Prime works the most. Is even if you don't stay present for more than that session, you would have at least done it the beginning of the week. And the thing with Rising Prime, it doesn't just affect you. It affects your kids. It affects people around you. So it's really amazing. And Mondays and Fridays, links is in my bio. So if somebody want to know, okay, that's interesting. I want to know. But here's what I've been doing. I've been telling you how to do stuff. I've been telling you why to do stuff. I've been inspiring you in relation to, like, man, if you really do this, it's going to work. But somebody, man, I can't get myself to do it. So what I'm saying is, you can't get yourself to do it. I get that. But at least, what if you had like a coach, right? What if you had somebody to just be like an extra push, right? So that's why I do. That's why I do every day, y'all. So try it out. Just come to Rising Prime one time. Link to the Zoom. Somebody says, I'm scared of putting my camera on. Like, I don't know. I don't want nobody to see my face. It's too early. I don't want nobody to see my face. Okay. Turn your camera off. Right? Cut through. Turn your camera off and just come join it. So that's pretty much my message, y'all. Try out Rising Prime, and I empower you. And another thing is, as I close out the podcast, I want to give a special shout out to somebody every day for supporting the podcast one way or the other with a review. Once again, if you're listening, you have the chance to join the tribe by going to holisticlifestyletribe.com or click the link in my bio and try out a free Rising Prime session. However, I want to grow this podcast. It's going to reach billions of people. It's going to be one of the top #1 alternative medicine podcasts in the world. We're about to see it happen. You seeing it happen on the daily. So y'all help me do that. I have a mission. My mission is to get to about 100 reviews. I got 40 now. 100 rates. And how you do that, you go to edtalksdaily.com/reviews. I'm going to read somebody review right here who left a nice review. Thank you for leaving this review. This podcast is very beneficial no matter where you're at on your journey. I'm learning new things, solidifying things I already know, and refining clarity, impactful motivation. Ed focuses how to arise above the struggle mentally, holistically, spiritually. I really look forward to these podcasts daily. Shout out to whoever wrote this, Madeline. Thank you for writing this awesome review. So if you want your review to be read on this podcast live and be part of the history of Ed Talks Daily, y'all do me a quick favor. This is all I ask. Every day I come, I add value to you. I literally be giving you a piece of my spirit. So y'all show me some love, right? Like I said, you don't have to join the tribe to show me love. That's really love for yourself, by the way. You can just leave a review, right? You don't have to send me a bunch of money to show me love. You can just comment and share the post. So I'm saying how you can support me right now. I'm talking about me as a person. As a person out here every day chasing his dreams, making, impacting lives. All you have to do is this. Like, you don't have to join the tribe. You don't have to donate. All you gotta do, my friend, is go to edtalksdaily.com /reviews. Leave me a review. Say something positive, and that'll help me so much. That is my message. I'm sticking to it. Once again, you could tap into the replay of this by, going back to my Instagram profile. It'll also be on the website, edtalksdaily.com, when it's done. So go to edtalksdaily.com, subscribe, and until next time, my friend, remember you have the unlimited power in you to release the best version of you, to love the present, experience the present, be the presence in the presence of. So you want people to be in the presence of your spirit, not in the presence of your past. And if you do that, you're going to be enjoying life. How can anxiety come when you're only experiencing the now? How can stress come when you're only experiencing the now? So that's my message, and I'm sticking to it. It's the holistic motivator. I love you. Stay blessed, stay in your power, and support your boy with one little review. Peace. Peace. One review. That's all I ask for. Just one review.